Hello, everyone. Welcome back to End Times Ambience. If you want to skip this brief introduction, check the comments below and you will see the timestamp to skip it. These introductions are here just to show you too that there is a human behind this channel and not just a machine pumping out videos. Bit of housekeeping notes. I'm excited to announce that End Times Ambience Appeal was approved and we are now back in the YouTube Partner Program. Now, what this means is that I will slowly start releasing all the exclusive videos that were Patreon only here on YouTube, and this is the first of those. Also, this means that you will start seeing ads again on the channel. Now, I know no one likes a broadcast to be interrupted with ads, but in order to keep the signal going, they are a necessary part of the process. If you want to remain ad-free, please go over to Patreon and join the community. So today's video was actually supposed to be released in April, and I was extremely disappointed when I couldn't do it. And the reason I couldn't do it is because YouTube decided to demonetize the channel, like it did a lot of creators, and I decided to hold it back until we got the monetization back. So I'm really excited that I'm able to bring it to you now. And it's based on the Evil Dead. And before we get into it, prayers out to Bruce Campbell. I know he's going through cancer right now, so everybody that can say a prayer for him and wish him a speedy recovery. So a listener did suggest this story, and they actually suggested the premise of the story, which is that the Knowby tapes are played via podcast or newscast to a very large audience, and that kind of starts the whole story. So that's kind of what happens here, and that's the basis of this story. With that being said, End Times Ambience presents the Knowby tapes, The Evil Dead Apocalypse. Enjoy the show.
Good evening. The story you are about to hear is a work of fiction. Any resemblance to actual demonic invasions, live-in or otherwise, is purely coincidental, though I would advise against playing any strange recordings you find in remote cabins, just in case. It begins, as these things often do, with a book. An old book, bound in something one doesn't discuss in polite company. A professor found it in a cellar. His son put it on the internet. I'm told that's where things go to cause trouble these days. Now, a small disclosure. The voices you are about to hear were created using artificial intelligence. However, the story itself and all production decisions were directed entirely by a human being, one with questionable taste in basement discoveries, but a human nonetheless. Do try to keep the lights on. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to episode 312 of the Dark Archive. 37 million of you are with us tonight. My guest is Dr. Chris Knowby, and he is joining us from a very unusual location. Chris, where are you right now? Most of you know the name Knowby. Professor Raymond Knowby was an archaeologist at the University of Michigan who claimed to have discovered a book called the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead, at a dig site in Europe in the early 1980s. He believed it was a Sumerian text, bound in human flesh, inked in blood, and that reading certain passages aloud could raise the dead. He recorded himself translating those passages, then he disappeared. His daughter, Annie Knowby, also an archaeologist, went to the family cabin in Tennessee to find him. She disappeared too. The Knowby estate has never released those recordings. The book has never been examined by outside scholars, and the family has never, in 40 years, spoken publicly about what happened until tonight. My guest is Dr. Chris Knowby, Raymond Knowby's son, Annie Knowby's brother, and a working archaeologist in his own right. He has the book, he has the tapes, and he has agreed to play them for us. Chris, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me, Edgar. I should say up front, I'm not here to tell ghost stories. I'm here to put this to rest.
You're a skeptic.
I'm a scientist. My father was a brilliant man who spent the last years of his life chasing something that wasn't real. My sister was even more brilliant, and she died because she believed him. I've spent my whole career trying to be taken seriously despite my last name. Do you know what it's like to introduce yourself at a conference and watch people's faces change when they hear Knowby?
So why now? Why come forward after all this time?
Because I'm tired of the whispers. I'm tired of the message boards and the conspiracy theorists and the people who show up at my lectures asking about demons. The Knowby family doesn't have a dark secret, Edgar. We have a tragedy. My father had a breakdown. My sister had a breakdown. And I'm the one left holding artifacts that belong in a museum, not locked in a storage unit like they're dangerous.
And you're joining us from a very unusual location tonight. Chris, where are you right now?
I'm at my family's cabin in the Tennessee hills. I know how that sounds. The archaeologist's son returns to the creepy cabin with the book, bound in human skin. Very dramatic. But I wanted to do this here because, honestly, I want to prove a point.
And what point is that?
That my father spent his life chasing a delusion. That my sister Annie died for nothing. This book, the Necronomicon Ex Mortis, it's a remarkable artifact. But my family treated it like a bomb that could go off at any moment. I grew up watching brilliant people destroy themselves over superstition.
Your father was Professor Raymond Knowby. He made translation recordings of this book that were never released. And you have those recordings with you tonight.
I do. I brought his reel-to-reel recorder. These are the tapes my father made in this very room, translating passages from the book. He believed saying certain words aloud would, summon demons. He died believing that. Annie died believing that.
Tell us about Annie.
She was the believer. Brilliant archaeologist, but she bought into all of it. She came back to this cabin decades ago and never left. The official report called it an accident. I think she got so lost in our father's obsession that she couldn't find her way out.
There was another man at the cabin that night, Ash Williams.
Ah, yes. The man who shows up at every incident. He was here when my sister died. He was in Elk Grove, Michigan, when something similar supposedly happened there. Then he vanishes. Always vanishes. I think Mr. Williams is a very troubled person who finds himself at tragic events. That's not supernatural. That's a pattern.
So you're here to debunk your own family's legacy.
I'm here to show that it's just a book. A disturbing book. Yes, the cover is human skin. The ink is blood. There's a face on the front that looks like it's screaming. But that doesn't make it magic. It makes it a very old, very macabre artifact that my family should have donated to a university instead of treating like a loaded weapon.
And the tape? You're going to play it for us?
That's the whole point. 37 million people are about to hear the words my father was terrified of. The words my sister wouldn't play for anyone, and nothing is going to happen, because it's just words. All right, I'm pressing play.
It has been a number of years since I began excavating the ruins of Kandar with a group of my colleagues. Now my wife and I have retreated to a small cabin in the solitude of these mountains. Here I continued my research undisturbed by the myriad distractions of modern civilization and far from the groves of academia. I believe I have made a significant find in the Kandarian ruins, a volume of ancient Sumerian burial practices and funerary incantations. It is entitled Naturam de Manto, roughly translated Book of the Dead. The book is bound in human flesh, inked in human blood. It deals with demons, demon resurrection, and those forces which roam the forest and dark bowers of man's domain. The first few pages warn that these enduring creatures may lie dormant, but are never truly dead. Tatra abistrobin azarta, tatir mando mansidon hansam somar, samanda rosa, danis hiker dante rosa, kanda, tatra abistrobin azarta, tatir mando.
Edgar, do you hear that?
Chris, there's something in your audio. Is that a creaking sound? It's behind your voice.
I hear it too. It just got very cold in this room. That shouldn't. The tape is still running. I don't...
Chris? Chris, are you there? We're getting some kind of interference on the feed. Dr. Knowby's audio just dropped. We're trying to reconnect. That was, I don't know what that was. Stay with us. We'll get him back.
Good morning. Welcome to the 6 a.m. hour. We begin today with a viral phenomenon. If you logged on to social media this morning, you probably saw it. The hashtag Book of Blood is trending worldwide. It stems from an episode of the Dark Archive podcast. The host interviewed Dr. Chris Knowby last night. Knowby played an old reel-to-reel tape on the air. He claimed it was an ancient Sumerian incantation. The podcast feed abruptly cut out during the broadcast. Since then, that audio clip has been shared 44 million times. It's an absolute internet sensation. Some listeners are reporting strange noises in their homes. Others are driving to the original recording site. That site is a remote cabin in Morrow County, Tennessee. We sent Tatum Norris down there to see what the fuss is about. Tatum, good morning. Are there really crowds out there in the woods?
Good morning, Mike. There are definitely people out here today. I'm standing on the shoulder of County Road 7. It's a gorgeous morning in Tennessee. The sun is just coming up over the trees, but the local sheriff's department is already busy. They've set up a barricade about a mile down the road. They're just trying to manage the sudden influx of traffic. We've seen dozens of cars driving past our news van. People are treating this remote woodland like a tourist attraction. It's quite a scene out here. I can see a few teenagers taking photos near the tree line. There's also an old car abandoned right on the shoulder. It looks like a 1973 Oldsmobile Delta 88. The driver's door is just hanging wide open. The engine is completely cold. Nobody seems to know who owns it. It definitely adds some local color to the spooky atmosphere. Tatum Norris reporting from Morrow County. Back to you.
Thanks. Tatum, stay warm out there. So why is this specific audio clip spreading so fast? To help us understand the psychology behind this viral moment, we're joined by Dr. Burke Dennings. He's a professor of media psychology. Dr. Dennings, good morning.
Good morning. Mike, thanks for having me.
We've seen viral challenges before, but this feels entirely different. People are genuinely reporting that they feel afraid after hearing this tape. What exactly are we looking at here?
We're looking at a classic case of audio-induced mass response. It's a fascinating psychological event. You have 37 million regular listeners of this podcast. They have a strong parasocial relationship with the host. When the feed dropped suddenly, it created an authentic moment of panic.
So you're saying the fear is essentially contagious?
Exactly. We call it sympathetic trauma response. People hear the tape on the podcast. They read the frantic comments from other frightened listeners online. Their brains immediately begin to look for patterns to justify that fear. A normal house creak suddenly sounds like a monster in the hallway. A shadow looks like a threat. The podcast gave them a terrifying framework for their anxiety. The anxiety simply filled the framework. It's a fascinating display of group psychology.
That makes a lot of sense. But what about the people driving out to the cabin? Tatum mentioned teenagers taking photos. Why do they feel the need to physically go to the woods?
It's an attempt to regain control. When a viral event makes us feel vulnerable, some people need to demystify it. They go to the physical location to prove it's just a bunch of trees. They want to prove the ghost story isn't real. By touching the trees, they take the power back. It's a very human coping mechanism. We want to stare into the dark and see nothing. It reassures us that the world is safe.
Do you expect this panic to last? Or will it burn out quickly?
It'll burn out within 48 hours. The internet moves incredibly fast. Once people realize there's no actual danger, they'll move on to the next trend. The human mind can't sustain this level of heightened alert over a simple audio file. It's biologically impossible to stay panicked forever.
Dr. Burke Dennings, thank you for that perspective. We appreciate your time this morning.
My pleasure. Mike.
Before we head to commercial, we have a quick local update. We've received reports of unusual seismic activity near Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Geologists say it's likely just minor ground settling. They attribute the movement to the recent spring thaw. We aren't expecting any major tremors. That's all for this hour. Have a wonderful Thursday morning. We'll see you back here at noon.
I need to say this out loud. I need to hear my own voice. I'm sitting in my car in a rest stop parking lot somewhere on Route 40. I left the cabin maybe 20 minutes ago. I'm still shaking. After the feed dropped, I sat there in the dark looking at the recorder. The tape was still running. My father's voice was still playing. And then the room went cold. Not cool, cold. Like walking into a meat locker. I heard laughter. It came from everywhere at once. From the walls, from outside, from the cellar beneath the floor. It wasn't human laughter. It was delighted, like something had been waiting a very long time and finally got what it wanted. Then something hit the window. Not a branch, not the wind. It hit the glass like a fist, over and over, and I could see the pain bowing inward with each impact. I ran. I left the book on the table. I left everything. I spent my whole life thinking my father was a brilliant man who lost his mind. I thought Annie threw her life away chasing his delusion. What if I was the one who had it backwards? 37 million people heard those words tonight. The words my father spent his final years trying to contain. The words my sister died to silence. And I played them to prove a point. Annie, I'm so sorry. I have to keep moving. I don't know where I'm going yet. I just know I can't stop. I left the book behind. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe everything I've done in the last 12 hours was a mistake.
You are listening to The Truth Grid. I'm Renfield Chambers. They think we aren't paying attention. They think a little internet ghost story will distract us. Have you seen the trending topics today? The Book of Blood? It's the #1 search term on every platform. Millions of people are sharing an audio clip from a podcast. The Dark Archive podcast. Dr. Chris Knowby played a tape of some ancient language last night. Then the feed conveniently died. The mainstream news is calling it a psychological phenomenon. They brought on a university professor to tell you it's completely fake. They're calling it a sympathetic trauma response. That is exactly what they want you to believe. But I've been looking at the metadata. I analyzed the audio file from that podcast. The feed didn't just drop due to a server error. It was cut. Somebody pulled the plug at the exact moment that tape played. And now the police have barricaded a cabin in Tennessee. Why would the local sheriff block a public county road? If it's just a bunch of teenagers taking photos, why the heavy police presence? I have a reliable contact near Morrow County. He told me state troopers are moving in right now. They're setting up a hard perimeter. You don't do that for a viral internet prank. You do that when you're hiding something real. Let's talk about the Knowby family for a minute. Professor Raymond Knowby disappeared in the 1980s. His daughter Annie disappeared shortly after. The official record says it was a tragic accident, a cabin fire or a structural collapse, but the property was never sold. It was never cleared. It just sat there rotting in the Tennessee woods for 40 years. Why would the state leave a hazardous site completely untouched? Because they were watching it. They knew exactly what the professor found at the castle of Kandar. The government confiscated his expedition logs. They let Chris Knowby keep a few useless trinkets to keep him quiet. But they didn't realize he had the actual audio translations. He played their darkest secret on a massive platform. That's why the feed went dead. That's why the woods are swarming with uniforms right now. They aren't protecting citizens from a ghost. They are protecting a highly classified military asset. I've seen reports of strange activity all morning. People are feeling cold spots in their homes. People are hearing mechanical clicking noises. The media says it's mass hysteria. I say it's an energy frequency weapon. They are broadcasting a specific subsonic frequency through that audio file. It's designed to trigger a biological fear response in the human brain. They are testing a mass panic weapon. And 37 million people just volunteered as literal test subjects. Don't listen to the tape. Don't let them program your nervous system. If you've already heard it, you need to ground yourself immediately. Stay away from mainstream media screens. They are using this event to measure public compliance. What happens when the real crisis hits? They'll know exactly how fast panic spreads. They'll know exactly how many state troopers it takes to lock down a county. Keep your eyes open. Do not trust the official narrative. We'll keep monitoring the situation in Tennessee. If my source gets any closer to that cabin, you'll hear about it right here. This is The Truth Grid. I'm Renfield Chambers. Stay vigilant out there.
We can see you right now, hiding in your little room. We can see the light under your door, hiding and hear you breathing. Don't hold your breath, hiding in your tour tube.
It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. I'm your host, Vic Pascal. You're listening to The Midnight Line. It's just you and me out there in the dark tonight. We have a very interesting evening ahead of us. The phone lines have been lighting up continuously for the last hour. Everyone wants to talk about the exact same thing, that viral broadcast from last night, the bizarre audio clip that's taking over the internet. We have 30 open lines right now, and every single one is flashing. People are curious about what they heard. Some of you are definitely a little spooked. That's what we're here for. We're going to talk through it together. Let's go ahead and take our first caller. Linda, you're on the air. What's on your mind tonight?
Hi, Vic. Thanks for taking my call. I live in Tennessee. We're about 20 miles from that old Knowby property everyone's been talking about. My husband and I were listening to that podcast together last night. Right after they played that tape, we heard something outside. Trees breaking. Not branches, Vic. Whole trees. One after another. My husband grabbed a flashlight and went out to check on it. That was around 9:30 last night. He never came back. I called the police 3 times. They finally picked up an hour ago and told me they're completely overwhelmed. They said they've gotten dozens of missing persons calls since last night. Dozens, Vic. They said they'll send someone when they can.
Linda, I'm truly sorry you're going through this. Those woods out there are incredibly dense and confusing, especially at night. It's very easy to get turned around. I'm sure the police will prioritize your call. Try to stay near the phone. He's probably lost his signal out there. We'll keep an eye on the newswire for you. Let's go ahead and jump to line 4. Kirk, you are live on the Midnight Line. What are you seeing out there?
Vic, I need to tell you exactly what I saw. I was driving on County Road 7 last night around 9:30. Something came bursting through the tree line. It was incredibly low to the ground. It was moving faster than any animal I've ever seen. It didn't try to go around the trees at all. It just moved in a perfectly straight line right toward the road. I didn't even try to stop my car. I slammed my foot on the gas and I just kept driving. I honestly couldn't process what my eyes were looking at. But there was something else that happened earlier. I drove past the county cemetery about 10 minutes before the tree line incident. I swear I saw movement among the old headstones. I told myself it was just a pack of deer. I've been telling myself it was deer all day long. Vic, I really don't think it was deer anymore.
That sounds like a truly terrifying experience, Kirk. Human eyes can definitely play some intense tricks on you in the dark, especially when you're driving completely alone on a rural road. The mind tries to fill in the blanks. Thank you for sharing that story with us tonight. Let's keep the lines moving. We have Ned waiting patiently on line 2. Ned tells my producer he's studied ancient religious texts. Welcome to the program, Ned.
Thank you for having me, Vic. I want to be clear that I'm not claiming to be an expert here, but I've spent a lot of years studying ancient Mesopotamian texts, Sumerian burial rites, the darker corners of those old religions. What I heard on that podcast last night, the words on that tape, they sounded like a funerary invocation. The kind of thing certain ancient cultures believed could open a door between the living and the dead. I don't know if any of it is real. I honestly hope it isn't. But I will say this. Those ancient demonic religions, the ones that practice blood sacrifice and communion with the dead, they weren't playing games. They believed what they were doing had real consequences. And the texts are very clear about one thing. You don't play around with that darkness. You don't speak those words casually. You don't broadcast them to millions of people. I don't know what's happening out there tonight, but if even a fraction of what those texts describe is true, we should all be very careful right now.
That is a remarkably interesting perspective, Ned. I appreciate you bringing that historical context to the program. It gives us something to think about. Let's take one more quick call before we head to a commercial break. We actually have a very special caller waiting on line 1 tonight. Hello, Lucy. You're on the air.
Hi, honey. I'm just calling to check in on you. I know you've been sitting at the studio for a really long time today. Are you holding up okay with all these calls?
I'm doing just fine. It's honestly just a really busy night for us. The call board is completely lit up with stories.
Well, I made a nice dinner for you earlier. I'll leave it wrapped up in the fridge for when you get back. Also, I can see the studio windows from the street right now. The lights are all completely off in your sound booth again. Don't forget to actually turn them on. You always forget to turn the lights on. I love you so much. I'll see you first thing in the morning.
I love you too. I'll go ahead and turn them on right now. Have a wonderful night. That's my wife, everyone. She always worries about the lights in here. We're going to take a very quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll open the phone lines right back up. Keep those stories coming. This is the Midnight Line.
I'm recording this from a motel room off the interstate. It's 3 in the morning. I pulled into this place about an hour ago. When I was walking to my room, I saw something on one of the windows 2 doors down. It looked like blood, smeared across the glass from the inside. I told myself it was paint, or maybe ketchup, something from a kid's art project. I don't believe that anymore. I don't think I believed it when I was looking at it. About 20 minutes ago, I heard shouting from outside. I went to the window. There were people running down the middle of the road. 3 of them, maybe 4. They were laughing, not happy laughter. It was this high, shrieking sound, like something was incredibly funny to them, and nobody else could understand the joke. One of them stopped under a street light and looked up at my window. Just stood there, smiling. Then they all kept running. I turned off the lights after that. I've been reading through my father's research archive. These are his private notes, the ones he never published. I brought them with me when I left the cabin. I'm looking at my sister's handwriting in the margins. Annie annotated everything. She understood this book better than he did. My father believed speaking certain passages aloud would give something license to cross over. I thought that was insane. I thought he'd lost his mind at the end. I went on a podcast to prove it. 37 million people heard me prove my father was crazy. Annie went back to that cabin knowing what was there. She went back to finish what our father started. She died there. But she left notes, detailed notes about a closing passage, a way to reverse what the tape recording does. She was trying to close a door, and I just opened it wider than anyone in history. I need to keep reading. I need to find exactly what Annie found. There's another sound outside now, footsteps on the walkway. They stopped right outside my door. I'm turning off the recorder.
This is an unscheduled emergency upload of the Dark Archive. I'm your host, Edgar Fuchs. It is Friday morning. I have been trying to reach Dr. Chris Knowby for 36 continuous hours. He is completely unreachable. His university colleagues haven't seen him. His phone goes straight to a full voicemail box. Things have gotten incredibly strange since our broadcast on Wednesday night. You have all seen the frantic news reports. You have seen the viral videos of people acting out of their minds. I didn't know what to do. So I did what I always do when I don't understand something. I started looking for experts. I am joined right now by Dr. Mina Seward. She is a research fellow in ancient Near Eastern languages. She contacted me less than an hour after episode 312 ended abruptly. Dr. Seward, thank you for making the time to speak with me.
Thank you for having me, Edgar. I want to state clearly right at the top that I am a scientist. I deal in verifiable historical artifacts and hard linguistic facts. I absolutely do not deal in the paranormal. That is exactly why I felt compelled to reach out to you immediately.
You listened to the tape Dr. Knowby played on my show, the one his father recorded at that cabin in Tennessee 40 years ago. What exactly did you hear on that magnetic tape?
I heard a phonetically perfect Sumerian funerary incantation. It was not a modern reconstruction or a loose translation. It was a real ancient language spoken with absolute academic precision. It was a real historical passage from a very dark era. Professor Raymond Knowby knew exactly what he was reading.
People read ancient Latin prayers out loud all the time. People read Norse runes on television shows and nothing happens. Why is this specific recording causing such a massive, visceral reaction across the country?
Those other texts are usually descriptive or purely mythological. They tell stories about old gods and mythical monsters. They don't give direct, actionable instructions to the physical world. The text you broadcast on Wednesday night is entirely different in its syntax. The second clause of that incantation is an explicit instruction. It actively commands the listener to give passage to the spirits of the dead. It operates like an acoustic lock and key. It requires the doorway to be opened by the person speaking it. I have been looking into the historical record on the Knowby family since we spoke. Chris mentioned that his sister Annie died at the site where that original recording was made. He said the official report called it a tragic accident.
Yes, he did. He said she was a brilliant archaeologist who understood what the book actually was. He seemed to think she knew exactly what she was doing when she went back there.
I managed to locate a copy of the original county coroner's report. The official cause of death is indeed listed as accidental on the primary certificate, but the wound pattern described in the detailed autopsy is not consistent with any accident. It is highly specific, incredibly violent, and deeply deliberate. The trauma suggests the use of a ceremonial implement. I think someone in that family understood something profound about this ancient text. I think they discovered a mechanic that the academic community was never permitted to access. And I think Annie Knowby acted on that terrible knowledge.
You think she did it on purpose? You think she died trying to stop whatever her father woke up in those woods? And I just played the opening sequence to 37 million people.
I think we are dealing with a phenomenon that does not care if we believe in it. The linguistic structure of that text is designed to break dimensional boundaries. You broadcast that boundary-breaking structure across the entire world simultaneously. I really don't know what happens next.
Dr. Mina Seward, thank you for your time and your expertise this morning. I don't think I'll be broadcasting again for a while. I need to figure some things out away from the microphone. If you're listening to this, please take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Goodbye.
One, two, we're coming for you. 3, 4, lock your door. 5, 6, it won't fix. 7, 8, it's too late. 9, 10, never sleep again.
Good morning. It is Friday, 6 a.m. Eastern. We are now approximately 48 hours past what is being called the Knowby broadcast, and I want to be direct with our viewers. We do not fully understand what we are reporting this morning. The events of the past 2 days do not fit any pattern our team has seen before. Here is what we know. Since Wednesday evening, law enforcement agencies across 43 states have reported a sharp increase in violent incidents. The FBI has logged over 400 homicides in the past 48 hours that share what they are calling unusual characteristics. We are also tracking reports from the United Kingdom, Germany, Japan, and Australia. This is not a localized event. Multiple jurisdictions are reporting that individuals involved in violent attacks exhibit physical changes that medical professionals have been unable to explain. Skin discoloration, vocal distortion, extreme changes in eye coloration, including cases where the iris appears almost entirely white. Several hospital spokespeople have used the word transformation. We are still working to verify what that means clinically. We have Director Parkins Gillespie on the line. He is with Regional Emergency Management and has been coordinating response efforts in Tennessee since Thursday morning. Director Gillespie, can you give us a sense of what your teams are dealing with on the ground?
Good morning, Sharon. I want to be careful about how I characterize this. We are seeing violent incidents that do not follow typical patterns. The individuals involved are displaying strength and aggression far beyond what we would expect. In several cases, individuals who were confirmed deceased by first responders have subsequently continued to be active threats.
Director, I want to make sure I understand what you just said. Are you telling us that individuals who are pronounced dead are getting back up?
I am telling you that we have multiple reports from trained emergency personnel describing exactly that. I cannot explain the mechanism why we are working closely with the CDC and coordinating under the Knowby I misspoke there. We are coordinating under standard emergency management guidelines. I apologize for the confusion. It has been a very long 48 hours for everyone involved. I would encourage people to stay indoors after dark until we have a better understanding of the situation.
Director Gillespie mentioned staying indoors after dark. and I want to address something our data team has been tracking. When we chart these incidents by time of occurrence, a pattern emerges. The overwhelming majority of violent reports are clustered between sundown and sunrise. During daylight hours Thursday, incident counts dropped by over 90%. Emergency management declared cautious optimism at the 5 a.m. briefing this morning. We are now getting reports that overnight numbers from Thursday into Friday were significantly worse than Wednesday night. Whatever is happening, it appears to intensify after dark. I want to turn now to a piece of video that has been circulating on social media since early this morning. Long footage allegedly shows an individual in Columbus, Ohio, who attacked a gas station attendant around 4:45 a.m. The video appears to show the attacker undergoing visible physical changes during the assault, including what looks like severe skin discoloration and distorted facial features. What has made this video go viral is what happens next. At approximately 4:52 a.m., as sunlight begins coming through the windows, the individual appears to revert. The discoloration fades. The facial distortion corrects. The person collapses and appears confused about where they are. The video has been viewed 47 million times in the last 3 hours. Our technical team has reviewed this footage and believes it may be digitally altered. The lighting transition appears too smooth for security camera footage, and the physical changes do not match any known medical condition. We are presenting this with significant skepticism. However, we are also receiving similar unverified reports from multiple other locations. We now go live to Tatum Norris, who is on Interstate 40 about 30 miles west of Nashville. Tatum, what are you seeing out there?
Sharon, I have been driving this stretch of highway for the last hour, and I have never seen anything like this. There are abandoned vehicles everywhere. I have counted at least 40 cars and trucks on the shoulder or stopped in the travel lanes with their doors standing open. Some of them still have their engines running. I passed one minivan with all 4 doors open and a child's car seat visible in the back. The seat was empty. State police are attempting to clear the roadway, but they are overwhelmed. I spoke with a trooper about 20 minutes ago who told me they have received over 200 missing persons reports in this region alone since Wednesday night. He said they do not have the personnel to follow up on most of them. He also said, and I am quoting directly, some of the people who went missing have come back, and they are not the same. I asked him what that meant. He would not elaborate. He told me to get off the road before dark, and then he walked away. Sharon, I have covered conflict zones. I have never seen American law enforcement look like this. They are scared.
Tatum, please stay safe out there. We will check back with you later this hour. I want to turn now to some of the specific incident reports we have received. I should warn our viewers that some of this content is disturbing. In Lexington, Kentucky, a woman attacked her neighbors with a kitchen knife at approximately 2 a.m. Thursday. She was shot 3 times by responding officers and continued to advance. Officers report she was laughing throughout the encounter. In Portland, Oregon, a man broke into a family home and killed 4 people before being subdued. Witnesses describe him speaking in a language none of them recognized, and they say his voice sounded like multiple people speaking at once. In Birmingham, England, 3 people were killed at a pub when a patron who had been dead for approximately 6 minutes sat up on the floor and attacked the people trying to help him. I want to be clear that we have not independently verified this account. We are reporting it because it matches a pattern we are seeing in reports from multiple countries. The word that keeps appearing in these reports, the word that witnesses and law enforcement keep using, is a word I do not know how to contextualize. They are calling these individuals Deadites. We do not know where that term originated or what it means, but it is appearing in incident reports from Tennessee to Tokyo. Before we go to break, I want to mention something from the National Wire that may or may not be related. Geologists are reporting unusual subsurface activity near several historic sites, including Gettysburg, Antietam. One researcher described the readings as, quote, unlike any geological pattern I am familiar with. I do not know what it matches. We will continue to follow these developments throughout the day. If you are in an affected area, please stay indoors after dark, lock your doors, do not approach anyone exhibiting unusual behavior. We will be right back after this break.
Good morning, church. Please take your seats. I know many of you didn't sleep last night. I know you've been watching the news out of Tennessee. I know some of you are wondering if you should have stayed home this morning. I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you're here. I had a sermon prepared for today. I was going to talk about the church picnic next month and the youth group's fundraiser, but I set those notes aside around 3 this morning because I think God has something else He wants us to hear today, something that speaks directly to what we're all feeling right now. I want to read from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 9, verses 32 and 33. Listen to these words. As they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with a devil. And when the devil was cast out, the dumb man spake, and the multitudes marveled, saying, It was never so seen in Israel. A dumb man possessed with a devil. Now, dumb in the old language doesn't mean foolish. It means mute, silent. This man couldn't speak. The demon inside him had stolen his voice. Think about that for a moment. The enemy's first act was to take away this man's ability to cry out for help. That's what darkness does, isn't it? It silences us. It makes us afraid to speak, afraid to ask questions, afraid to reach out to our neighbors and say, Are you seeing what I'm seeing? The devil's first weapon is always isolation. If he can make you think you're alone, he's already halfway to winning. But look what happens next. They brought to him a dumb man. This man didn't walk to Jesus alone. He couldn't even ask for help. His community brought him. His friends, his family, the people who loved him, they picked him up and carried him to the one person who could set him free. That's us, church. That's what we do for each other. Some of you walked through those doors this morning barely able to put one foot in front of the other. You're exhausted. You're scared. Maybe you feel like you've lost your voice entirely, but you're here, and we're going to carry each other through this. Now, here's the part I want you to remember. When the devil was cast out, the dumb man spake, not whispered, not mumbled. He spoke. The moment Jesus commanded that demon to leave, the man's voice came flooding back. Everything the enemy had stolen was restored in an instant. I've been watching the news just like you have. I've heard the reports from Morrow County. I've seen footage that would make a weaker man doubt everything he believes. But I want you to understand something. What we're witnessing isn't new. Jesus faced demons 2,000 years ago, and Jesus won. The gospel doesn't say Jesus struggled with the demon, doesn't say he debated it or negotiated with it. The demon was cast out, period. That's the authority our Lord carries, and that's the authority He's given to those who believe in His name. We don't have to be afraid of the darkness. The darkness has to be afraid of the light. Now I know some of you have questions I can't answer. Why is this happening? Why now? Why here? I don't have those answers. I'm just a pastor in a small church trying to make sense of the same reports you're seeing. But I know this, God hasn't left us. God doesn't leave His people. Here's what I want you to do when you leave here today. Check on your neighbors. Call the people you haven't heard from since Wednesday. Don't let anyone sit alone in their fear. The mute man couldn't bring himself to Jesus. His community brought him. We have to be that community for each other right now. And remember what happened when the man spoke. The multitudes marveled, saying it was never so seen in Israel. The people saw something that day they'd never seen before. A miracle. A man set free. And they marveled. Whatever happens in the days ahead, I believe we're going to see something we've never seen before. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you this morning as your children. We're scared, Lord. We don't understand what's happening in our world, but we know that you are still on the throne. We know that demons bow before your Son. We know that the mute man spoke when Jesus commanded the darkness to leave. Give us strength to carry each other through this valley. Give us voices to cry out when others have been silenced. and give us faith to believe that the light is stronger than the darkness. We ask this in the name of Jesus Christ, who cast out demons with a word. Amen. Go in peace, church. Check on your people. Keep your lights on for each other. And I'll see you Wednesday night, God willing.
Ring around the cabin, pocket full of ashes. Ashes, ashes. We all fall down, and when you fall, we'll be waiting. We're always waiting.
It's 11 o'clock on Friday night. You are listening to The Midnight Line. I'm your host, Vic Pascow. I have been sitting at this console for almost 48 hours straight. The coffee stopped working around noon today. I'm just running on pure adrenaline now. The story has changed tonight, folks. We aren't talking about a fun internet prank anymore. We aren't talking about people getting lost in the woods. We're talking about entire counties going completely dark. The tone on the phone board is incredibly angry tonight. People want answers, and nobody is providing them. So we're going to try to find them ourselves. Let's go straight to the phones. Keith, you are on the air. What have you found?
Vic, I've been researching the Knowby family for decades. I started looking into them right after Raymond Knowby died. I have copies of his original expedition papers. I have his translated notes from the Castle of Kandar. I even have a source inside the Federal Records Office. The government absolutely has a classified Knowby file on record. They know exactly what happened in Tennessee 40 years ago. Annie Knowby didn't die in some tragic structural collapse. She used an ancient relic called the Kandarian dagger to close a temporal rift. She died doing it. She sacrificed herself to save the world from this exact nightmare. Her brother Chris just undid everything she gave her life for. He broadcast the opening sequence to 37 million people. There is an ancient organization called the Knights of Sumeria. They are a living organization, and they are active today. The Kandarian dagger is the only thing that stops the upper-tier entities. I have been in contact with a knight who recovered a dagger from a private collection in the northern sector. His name is Ash Williams. He's already moving toward Tennessee. If Dr. Knowby can get to that cabin with the closing passage, and Ash can get the dagger to him in time, they might actually be able to close this thing. Someone with the words, someone with the weapon, that's what it takes.
That is an incredible amount of detailed history, Keith. If that dagger is really on its way to Tennessee, I hope both of those men are listening right now. Let's move to our next caller. Steve, you've been waiting patiently on line 3. You're on the Midnight Line.
Vic, I am absolutely furious right now. I have been awake for 3 straight days trying to get a factual accounting. Nobody is telling us what is actually happening in Morrow County. The news stations are just repeating the same vague statements. I do not believe in demons, Vic. I don't believe in ancient Sumerian ghosts or magic books. I believe in documented evidence that something terrible is occurring. There is clearly a violent crisis happening with no rational explanation. I demand a rational explanation. The police barricades are military grade. You don't build a military perimeter for an internet ghost story. Why are you letting people talk about magic daggers on your show? We need to stick to the actual facts right now.
I completely understand your anger, Steve. We are all exhausted, and we are all very frightened. I'm letting people share their research because the official channels are completely silent. We have to look everywhere for answers when the authorities won't speak. Let's go to Mike on line 5.
Evening, Vic. I've been preparing for the world to become dangerous for a very long time. I want to give people some practical advice for what's coming. If you encounter one of these affected people, do not try to talk to them. You cannot reason with whatever is inside them. You must target the legs immediately to slow it down. If it keeps coming, you have to take the whole thing apart. Do not leave anything intact. I agree with the caller who mentioned Annie Knowby. The woman who closed it last time knew something vital. She knew that when you finally find the weapon, you use it. You use it, even if using it costs absolutely everything.
Thank you for the sobering tactical advice. Mike, let's take one more call before the top of the hour. Glenn, you're on the air. What did you see out there?
Vic, I live next to the Morrow County Cemetery. I was standing on my back porch on Wednesday night around midnight. I couldn't sleep after listening to the news. I was looking out toward the cemetery hill in the dark. I clearly saw movement among the old stone headstones. I told myself it was just a deer. I tried to convince myself it was a coyote moving through the brush. I've been trying to make that excuse fit for 36 hours now. Vic, the movement I saw was entirely vertical. I watched a dark shape stand straight up from behind a headstone. It stood up on two legs and it turned directly toward the main road. I went inside and locked the door. I have not gone back outside since Wednesday night. I don't know what to do.
Thank you for calling in tonight, Glenn. Just keep your doors locked and stay completely safe in there. I'm sure there's a perfectly logical explanation for what you saw. We're going to step away for a quick break. We'll be right back with more calls on the Midnight Line.
I'm back on the road. I'm heading south on Interstate 40. I just killed something. I need to say that out loud. I just killed something that used to be a person. Let me back up. I stopped at a rest area about 40 minutes ago. Every door in the building was standing wide open. The lights were all on. Nobody inside. Chairs knocked over. Food still on the tables. Like everyone just got up and ran at the same moment. I grabbed the axe from my truck before I went in. I've been carrying it everywhere since Thursday. I told myself it was paranoid. It wasn't paranoid. I went into the restroom. I don't know why. Maybe I thought someone might be hiding in there. Someone who needed help. The fluorescent lights were buzzing. One of the stall doors was closed. I could hear breathing on the other side. Wet breathing, like lungs full of fluid. I said hello. The breathing stopped. Then the stall door flew open and this thing came out. It had been a woman. I could tell from the clothes, but the skin was gray and split in places, and the eyes were completely white, and when it opened its mouth to scream at me, the voice wasn't one voice. It was layers, like a dozen people screaming the same word at slightly different times. It came at me fast. Faster than a person should move. It grabbed my jacket and the strength was unbelievable. It lifted me off the ground with one hand. I swung the axe. I hit it in the shoulder and it laughed. It laughed at me, this high cackling sound, and it said something in a language I didn't recognize. I pulled the axe out and I swung again. I hit it in the neck. It kept coming. I hit it again and again. I took the head off. The body kept moving for about 5 seconds after that. The arms were still reaching for me. Then it stopped. I ran back to my truck. I didn't look back. I'm covered in something that I don't think is blood. It's too dark. It smells like copper and rot. I need to keep driving. I found the closing passage in my father's notes, the incantation that reverses what the tape recording did. It has to be spoken at the source, the cabin. That's where the tapes were made. That's where the door opened. That's where I have to close it. The radio is reporting incidents in 38 states now. They're showing footage from Tokyo and London. A hospital in Munich caught fire and the patients walked out of the flames. Walked out, on fire, still moving. This is everywhere. This is what I did. I'm not planning to die in that cabin. But I understand now that the planning isn't really the point. The axe is on the seat next to me. I cleaned it as best I could. 4 more hours to Tennessee.
Good morning. I'm Cotton Holt, and you're listening to the Morning Standard. It is Friday, and I want to start today's program by acknowledging something. A lot of you are scared right now. You've been watching the same footage I've been watching. You've seen the reports out of Tennessee and Kentucky and now half the country, and you're wondering if the world has gone completely insane. My guest this morning is here to tell you it hasn't. Dr. Burke Dennings is a clinical psychologist who specializes in mass psychogenic events, and he has a very different explanation for what we're all experiencing.
Good morning, Cotton. Thank you for having me on the show. It's a vital question to ask right now.
You are a leading clinical psychologist specializing in mass psychogenic events. You believe this entire terrifying situation is actually a massive psychological phenomenon. How can an entire county collectively hallucinate the exact same scary things?
We are looking at a textbook sympathetic trauma response. It was propagated through social sharing to millions of simultaneous listeners. 37 million people heard that deeply unsettling audio clip on Wednesday night. That podcast gave them a specific, terrifying framework for their fear. The fear simply filled the framework. What these people are perceiving as external demonic entities are actually projections. They are dangerous projections of their own internal psychological collapse. The human mind is incredibly powerful when it feels collectively threatened.
That makes sense for people hearing strange noises in their dark houses. But what about the actual physical violence? We had a disturbing hospital report earlier this morning about a catatonic patient. The patient had entirely white eyes and absolutely zero pain response. Which psychological delusion caused severe physiological changes like that? It's very difficult to tell people they are just imagining these horrifying details.
Extreme psychological trauma manifests physically in ways we are still studying today. Severe catatonia and clinical shock can easily present as a lack of pain response. The eye coloration could simply be a severe ocular reaction to intense physical stress. We see bizarre physiological anomalies during intense panic states all the time.
But the local authorities are taking this incredibly seriously. The sheriff's department set up a massive exclusion zone. They're treating it like an active, highly dangerous combat zone. Why would trained professionals fall for a mass hallucination?
Law enforcement officers are just as susceptible to group panic as anyone else. They operate in high-stress environments and constantly anticipate severe threats. When the community around them panics, that anxiety is highly contagious. They are simply responding to the violent symptoms of the panic. I want to be very clear about this absolute fact. There is absolutely no documented supernatural mechanism here. An audio recording simply cannot summon non-human entities. What we are seeing is the largest documented mass psychogenic event in recorded history.
So the solution isn't a military perimeter or a magical relic. The solution is getting people to calm down and turn off their screens. We just need to break the endless cycle of viral panic.
I would add that any population experiencing mass perceptual events is easily managed. They are significantly easier to manage if they believe their perceptions are entirely unreliable. The suggestion that what you are seeing is not real is incredibly effective. It is the most effective restraint ever devised.
You are not seeing what you think you are seeing. And what you are not seeing is already very close.
I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
I was just saying that cognitive behavioral intervention is absolutely crucial right now. We have to help these terrified people understand their own internal responses. Once we ground them in reality, the violent symptoms will completely subside.
Right. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Dr. Burke Dennings, thank you for bringing a voice of reason to the program today. We'll be right back with more analysis after this short break.
Join us. It doesn't hurt. It only hurts at first. Join us. Join us. Join us. Your family is already here. They're waiting for you. They're so hungry.
We are interrupting our regular coverage to bring you a live address from the President of the United States. President James Ullman is speaking from the Oval Office. This is the first time the President has addressed the nation directly since the events of Wednesday evening. We go now live to the White House.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you today from the Oval Office. We're facing a very difficult challenge across this great nation of ours. I've spoken directly with multiple governors this morning. I've also met with our top emergency management directors and military advisors. They're working incredibly hard to get a handle on this crisis. I know there are a lot of wild rumors flying around the internet. You turn on the television and it looks like a Hollywood movie. It looks like one of those scary pictures at the drive-in theater, the ones where the monsters come out of the woods to take over. But this isn't a science fiction movie, folks. This is a real biological hazard combined with severe civil unrest. It's a complex and highly unusual threat to our homeland security. We've deployed massive federal resources to the affected regions. We're treating this like a major natural disaster and a public health emergency combined. We've initiated our full pandemic response procedures to isolate the contagion. Make no mistake about it. We aren't going to let this invisible enemy defeat us. I'm the decider here, and I've decided we are deploying every resource at our disposal. We're going to starve this outbreak of the oxygen it desperately needs. I know people are scared of the unknown right now. Fear is a natural reaction to what we're seeing on our screens, but we can't let fear dictate our national response. I'm asking all Americans to stay calm and stay inside your homes after dark. Don't panic, and don't listen to the crazy conspiracy theories online. We have the absolute best scientific minds working on a solid solution. The Centers for Disease Control and the military are coordinating very closely. They're establishing safe zones to keep your families protected. We're going to stay the course and finish the important work. We will overcome this.
Your soul, we're going to swallow your soul. All of you, every last screaming one of you. There's nowhere left to hide. The woods are everywhere now.
What the hell was that? How did one of them get in here? Security!
Code Red! Secure the president!
We appear to be experiencing technical difficulties with our feed from the White House. We heard what sounded like a disturbance in the room during the president's address. The feed has gone dark. We are attempting to reestablish contact. I want to be clear with our viewers that we do not know what just happened. The president was in the middle of his address when we heard shouting from somewhere in the room. The broadcast was cut immediately after. We have no information on the president's status at this time. We will bring you updates as soon as we have them. Please stay with us. Good evening. We are operating under a national state of emergency tonight. If you saw the presidential address earlier today, you know that the broadcast was abruptly cut off. We heard shouting in the Oval Office. The White House has not issued any statement since that interruption. We do not know the current status of President Ullman. What we do know is that the situation across this country has deteriorated rapidly in the past 12 hours. First responders in 32 states are reporting that they are completely overwhelmed. 911 systems in multiple major cities have stopped answering calls. The National Guard has been deployed in 17 states, but commanders on the ground are saying they cannot contain what they are facing. We have Police Captain William Kinderman on the phone. Captain Kinderman has been coordinating emergency response in the Nashville corridor. Captain, can you tell us what your officers are dealing with tonight?
Mike, I've been a cop for 30 years. I've seen people completely out of their minds on every substance you can name. What we're facing tonight is not that. These things are not sick. They're not high. You shoot them directly in the chest and they smile at you. They laugh at the bullet holes. You have to take them completely apart to stop them. You have to remove the limbs and destroy the head. But the worst part isn't their strength. The worst part is the psychological games they play. They use the voices of people you love.
What do you mean by that, Captain? How are they using voices?
One of my deputies shot his own wife tonight. She'd been missing since yesterday morning. She walked out of the woods and begged him for help. She sounded completely normal, terrified. The second he lowered his rifle, her face just twisted up into something else. She moved faster than anything I've ever seen. She almost got to him before he pulled the trigger. He had to empty his entire magazine into her. And the whole time she was laughing at him, laughing with his wife's voice. He's in shock right now. I don't think he's ever coming back from that.
Captain Kinderman, thank you for speaking with us. Please stay safe out there. We're now going to check in with Marcy Bennings. Marcy is stationed outside Mercy General Hospital. Marcy, what are you seeing?
Mike, I'm in the parking structure across from the hospital. The power went out about 20 minutes ago. Before it did, I saw something through the windows of the ICU that I can't explain. There was a patient, a woman who had been in a coma since Thursday. She sat up in her bed and her head turned all the way around. I mean, completely around, Mike, like an owl. Then she started floating, about 3 feet off the floor. She was reciting nursery rhymes, but her voice sounded like a chorus of angry men. Then she just tore through the medical staff. The police officers emptied their weapons into her back. She spun around and threw a medical cart across the room. It crushed 2 deputies. Mike, there are people walking out of the hospital right now. They're moving in perfect synchronization. Their eyes are glowing white in the darkness.
Marcy, you need to leave that area immediately. Get in the van and drive away right now. Do not wait for your cameraman. Just go.
I can't move my legs, Mike. Something is talking to me inside my head. It sounds exactly like my little girl. It's telling me to come join her. It's so cold.
Oh, Mike, she's with us now. They're all with us now. And you're next. Everyone listening is next. Dead by Dawn! Dead by Dawn! Dead by Dawn! Join us! Join us! Join us!
Cut the feed. Cut the feed right now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry you had to hear that. We have lost contact with Marcy Bennings. If you are watching this broadcast, please listen carefully. Stay inside your homes. Lock your doors and your windows. Do not open them for anyone, even if they sound like someone you know, especially if they sound like someone you know. Keep your lights on. Stay together. Do not go outside after dark. We will stay on the air as long as we are able. We will continue to bring you information as we receive it. Please stay safe tonight. Please take care of each other. We'll be right back.
following is an emergency action message from the National Civil Defense Authority. A severe biological hazard and mass civil unrest event is currently occurring. The hazard area has expanded across the continental United States and possibly internationally. Citizens must shelter in place immediately. Do not attempt to evacuate your current physical location. All major highway routes are currently impassable. Law enforcement and emergency medical services are no longer responding to civilian calls. Citizens are entirely responsible for their own physical security at this time. Secure all doors and windows immediately. Do not open secured doors for any individual. Hostile individuals may utilize psychological tactics to gain entry to secured structures. Hostile individuals may perfectly mimic the vocal patterns of known family members. Do not trust auditory identification under any circumstances. Lethal force is explicitly authorized for all citizens defending their primary residence. Standard ballistic trauma is entirely insufficient to neutralize hostile individuals. Aim for total structural dismemberment if physical engagement becomes strictly unavoidable. Do not attempt to capture or restrain hostile individuals. Maintain absolute silence within your shelter. Extinguish all artificial lighting to avoid visual detection. Remain indoors and wait for further official instructions. This emergency message will now repeat.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Those of you who are still receiving this signal, they've been trying to jam my frequency all morning. The cell towers are going dark one by one across the eastern seaboard, but I've got a generator and a backup transmitter, and I am not going silent. I warned you on Wednesday night. I told you exactly what was coming when that podcast played those words. I told you about the Morrow County files and the government suppression operation. And what did the mainstream media do? They laughed. They called me a conspiracy theorist. They said I was spreading dangerous misinformation. Well, I'm not laughing now, and neither are they, because what I predicted 3 days ago is now standing in their front yards. The dead are walking, and the government knew this was possible. They had classified briefings on this exact scenario going back 40 years. The Morrow County incident of 1981 was just the beginning. Now, here's what they're not telling you on the emergency broadcasts. Are you listening? This is critical information that could save your life. The seismic activity that started near the Tennessee cabin has been spreading outward in concentric circles. My contacts at the U.S. Geological Survey, before they went dark, confirmed unusual vibrations near every major Civil War battlefield east of the Mississippi. The readings are off the charts and they don't match any natural phenomenon. Gettysburg, Antietam, Shiloh, Chickamauga, the ground is shaking where the blood was shed. And if you live near one of those sites, you need to hear this next part very carefully. There is a sound, a very specific sound that means they are coming up. My source described it as bones dragging across asphalt, thunder without rain, a grinding, scraping rumble that comes from beneath the soil. If you hear that sound, you have maybe 90 seconds before they break the surface. That's your warning. That's the sound of the Army of Darkness waking up. The Army of Darkness. That's what the old texts call them. The Necronomicon Ex Mortis describes them in detail. Every soldier who died in violence on this continent. Every battlefield, every mass grave, every potter's field where they dumped the unclaimed bodies. Revolutionary War, Civil War, Indian Wars. They're all waking up. And here's the part the military doesn't want you to know. Your guns won't stop them. I'm going to say that again because it is the most important thing I have ever told you. Conventional weapons do not work. In fact, and this is straight from a classified briefing that was leaked to me 2 hours ago, shooting them makes them stronger. Every round you pump into these things feeds the dark energy that animates them. The military learned this the hard way in Elk Grove, Michigan a few years back. They buried that operation so deep even I couldn't find it until last year. But now the same brass who covered up Elk Grove are about to make the exact same mistake on a national scale. They're going to roll tanks into these hot zones and they're going to feed the beast.
Do not trust the government response. Do not wait for the National Guard to save you. They are walking into a massacre and they don't even know it. The only thing that stops these creatures is dismemberment, total physical destruction, axes, machetes, chainsaws. You have to take them apart piece by piece. I know how that sounds. Believe me, I know. But I am telling you the truth that no one else will say. The dead are rising, the army is marching, and there is one man somewhere in Tennessee right now who might be able to close the door that started all of this. The Knights of Samaria are mobilizing to help him. One of them has the weapon. I don't know if he'll make it in time. I don't know if any of us will make it through the night, but I am staying on this frequency until the generator runs dry. I've been doing this broadcast for 15 years. 15 years of warning people about the things that lurk in the shadows, and now the shadows are here. This is Renfield Chambers. This is the only truth you're going to hear tonight. Stay armed, stay together, and whatever you do, do not answer the door after dark. They know your voice. They will use it against you.
Sweetheart, it's Mom. Open the door, honey. I said open the door. Open the door. Mommy just wants to tuck you in.
I'm back. I just turned onto the access road. The last time I drove this road, I was running away. I left the book on the table. I left everything. I told myself I'd never come back here. 4 days ago, I sat in that cabin and told 37 million people that my father was delusional. I said my sister threw her life away chasing a fantasy. I played that tape to prove they were fools. I was the fool. I was the fool my entire life. I've seen what's out there now. I cut the head off a woman in a rest stop bathroom. I watched people burn alive on the news and keep walking. I heard a field reporter transform into something else on live television. There's no skepticism left in me. There's nothing left but what I have to do. The cabin is visible now. I'm stopping the car about 50 yards from the porch. The windows are dark. The door is still closed. I can feel it watching me. The presence in the trees. It's been waiting for me to come back. I have the closing passage memorized. I have my father's notes. I have the axe. All I need is the book. The book I left sitting on the table when I ran like a coward. The sun is going down behind the ridge. Maybe 20 minutes of light left. I don't know what's waiting inside. I don't know if the book is even still there. But this is where the door opened. This is the only place it can be closed. My father couldn't close it. He had the words, but not the weapon. My sister couldn't close it. She had the weapon, but ran out of time. I'm going to be the first Knowby who finishes this, or I'm going to be the last one who tries. I'm getting out of the car now. I'm walking to the front door. Annie, Father, I'm sorry it took me so long to believe you.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. You're listening to The Midnight Line. I'm Vic Pascal. We've been broadcasting continuously since Wednesday evening. I don't know how many stations are still transmitting right now. The government sent out that emergency alert about an hour ago. They told everyone to lock their doors and wait, but our phone board is still completely lit up. Every single line is flashing in the dark studio. The calls are changing. People aren't asking for help anymore. The things calling us aren't exactly people anymore either. We're going to keep filtering through the noise. Let's go straight to the phones. Glenn, are you still there?
I'm here, Vic. Just checking in. Your voice is the only human sound I've heard for hours. I haven't left my living room since Wednesday. The cemetery outside my window is quiet right now. The headstones are just standing there in the dark. I haven't seen anything else stand up and walk toward the road. I stopped trying to convince myself it was deer. I know what I saw. I'm just going to stay perfectly still and wait for sunrise.
That's the smartest thing you can do, Glenn. Don't look out the windows. Don't make a sound. We're going to keep the lines moving. We have Pam waiting on line 2. Pam, you're live on the air.
Hi, Vic. I'm trapped on the interstate near the Tennessee border. My car died on the shoulder. There are dozens of abandoned vehicles out here. All the doors hanging open. It's so cold tonight. I locked myself inside, but the temperature keeps dropping. I can hear people whispering out in the trees. They're getting closer. I think they can see me through the...
I want to come inside. I want to be exactly where you are. We are all so cold out here. Open the door and let me in. Join us.
Dropping that line. Do not listen to those voices, folks. The emergency broadcaster's right about the psychological tricks. They want you to invite them in. Let's try line 4. Hello? Who's calling the midnight line?
Hi, Vic. Remember Linda? She called your show Wednesday night. She was so worried about her husband. He went outside to check on those breaking trees and never came back. Well, I came back.
I found her hiding in the bedroom closet. She was so happy to see me.
She screamed my name over and over. She's right here with me now, Vic. She wants to say hello.
I recognize that cadence. You're not her husband anymore. Cutting this line. Don't let them manipulate your empathy, folks. They're wearing stolen voices. Line 5. You're on the air.
We're already inside, Vic. The locks won't save anyone tonight. The flesh is so weak. We're going to strip it all away. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. Dead by dawn. Dead by dawn. Dead by dawn. Join us. Join us. Join us. Join us.
Cut the feed. Keep dropping lines until we hear someone drawing a real breath. We're filtering out the static. Line 1 is flashing. You're on the air.
Hi, honey. It's me. I know you've been sitting at that console forever. You must be so tired. I wrapped your dinner and left it in the fridge for you. Did you remember to turn on the booth lights? You always forget the lights, sweetheart. I'm at a safe house right now. The brick building on Maple Street. I'm only 3 blocks from the studio. Come home to me. Come be with me. I love you so much.
Lucy, where are you calling from?
I told you, honey. The brick building on Maple Street. 3 blocks away. I can see your studio from the window. The lights are off in your booth. You always forget to turn them on. Come outside. I'll meet you in the parking lot.
We don't live anywhere near Maple Street. There is no brick building 3 blocks from this studio. My wife is at her sister's house in Kentucky. I spoke to her 6 hours ago. I know exactly what you are.
Oh, Vic. She was at her sister's house. We found her there. She screamed for you. She screamed your name while we...
You shut your mouth. You think you can use her voice against me? You think wearing my wife's voice is going to make me open that door? I've been listening to you things call in all night. I know what you are. I know what you want, and I want you to hear me very clearly. I'm not leaving this booth. I'm not opening that door. And if any of you things try to come through it, I've got a fire axe and a whole lot of reasons to use it. Come get some.
Hush, little human. Don't say a word. We're gonna swallow every soul you've heard. And if that soul should try to run, we'll hunt them down one by one. Hush now.
Hush.
The book is still here, right where I left it on the table. 4 days ago, I ran out of this cabin like a coward and left the only thing that matters sitting in the dust. The one thing I came here to disprove. It's been waiting for me. The tool shed almost killed me. I went around back to find an axe. Something was waiting in the dark. It came at me from behind the workbench, gray skin, white eyes, teeth like broken glass. It was wearing my father's old work clothes. Grim, it knocked me into the tool wall, saws and hammers everywhere. My hand landed on a pull cord. Thaumatarch satisfaction. Home light chainsaw, 36-inch bar. Started on the first pull. I don't know how long it took. The thing kept coming even after I opened it up from shoulder to hip. It kept laughing. It kept saying my name. I had to take the head. Then I had to take the arms. It finally stopped moving when there was nothing left to move. I'm covered in it. That black fluid. It's in my hair. It's in my mouth. I can taste copper and something worse. But I made it inside. I have the book. I have Annie's notes. But there's something else. Something I didn't hear the first time I was here. There's noise coming from under the floor. The fruit cellar. Something heavy is moving down there, dragging itself back and forth across the dirt. The cellar door is chained shut. The chain is old, rusted, but it's holding. I know who's down there. I know what's been down there for 40 years. My mother, Henrietta. She's pushing against the door. I can hear the wood groaning. She's making sounds, not words, just sounds. Wet, hungry. The thing wearing my mother has been waiting in the dark since 1981. Annie's notes say the closing passage requires concentration, precise pronunciation. I have to read it exactly as she transcribed it. I can't do that while my mother is screaming beneath the floor. I can't close the door with her banging on the wood. The chainsaw still has fuel. The chain is still sharp. I'm sorry, Mother. I'm so sorry for what I have to do.
We're interrupting our coverage to bring you something we've just obtained. Our technical team has intercepted military radio communications from the Virginia Theater. What you're about to hear was recorded approximately 40 minutes ago. We have not edited or altered this audio in any way. I want to caution our viewers, what you're about to hear is disturbing. If you have children in the room, please ask them to leave now. This is the voice of Captain William Kinderman communicating with Field Officer Harrison at the Antietam defensive line.
Bravo Actual, this is Command. I need a sitrep on the eastern perimeter. Satellite shows movement from the Antietam site. Confirm visual.
Command, Bravo Actual. I have visual. Sir, I don't know how to report this. They're coming out of the ground. Hundreds of them. They're wearing Union uniforms, Confederate uniforms. Some of them are just bones, sir.
Bravo Actual, confirm you are saying hostile forces are emerging from burial sites at Antietam National Battlefield. Is that correct?
Confirmed, Command. The dead are climbing out of the earth. They're forming ranks, military formations, parade spacing, like they remember how to march. Sir, they're moving toward our position, requesting permission to engage.
Bravo Actual, you are weapons free. Engage hostiles with extreme prejudice. Aim for center mass. Report effectiveness.
Engaging now? Full auto in the front rank? Command, rounds are passing through. No effect. They're not stopping. Switching to incendiary.
Bravo Actual, report. What is target response to incendiary rounds?
They're on fire and still walking. Command, the fire is not stopping them. Sir, they're getting faster. The more we shoot them, the faster they move. It's like the rounds are feeding them.
Bravo, Actual. Cease fire immediately. I repeat, cease fire. Fall back to secondary position. Do not engage with conventional weapons. Acknowledge.
Command, they're in the trench line. Martinez is down. They pulled him apart. They're laughing, sir. The skulls are laughing. I can hear them laughing.
Harrison, get your men out of there. Fall back. That's a direct order.
We can't! They're behind us too! Cold Harbor and Gettysburg forces linked up. We're surrounded. Sir, there's thousands of them. The whole Civil War is standing up and walking toward us.
Harrison, I'm dispatching air support. Hold your position. Help is coming.
There's no time, sir. They're on top of us. Tell my wife, no! Get off me! They're inside the...
Harrison! Bravo Actual, respond! Harrison, do you copy? God help us. All units, all units. Anti-atom line has fallen. Eastern perimeter is compromised. They're coming through.
That transmission ended approximately 35 minutes ago. We have attempted to reach Captain Kinderman for comment. We have not received a response. To summarize what we just heard, military forces engaged hostile targets emerging from Civil War battlefield burial sites at Antietam, Cold Harbor, and Gettysburg. Conventional weapons proved ineffective. Multiple reports indicate that gunfire appeared to strengthen the advancing forces rather than stop them. The eastern defensive line has collapsed. We do not know how many soldiers were lost. We do not know where these forces are heading now. We will continue to monitor military frequencies and bring you updates as they become available. If you are in the Virginia, Maryland, or Pennsylvania areas, shelter in place immediately. Good evening. I'm broadcasting tonight from a secure secondary location. I don't have a production crew with me anymore. I'm running this audio board by myself. If you just heard that intercepted military transmission, you know why. Field Officer Harrison is dead. The eastern defensive line has collapsed. And the man who was on the other end of that radio, Captain William Kinderman, is on the line with me now. Captain, can you tell our listeners what we're facing out there?
Mike, I've been awake for 72 hours. I've watched 3 defensive perimeters fall tonight. We lost 400 men in under 20 minutes, and I still don't have the words to describe what killed them. Harrison was a good officer. 20 years in the service. 2 tours overseas. He died screaming while skeletons pulled him apart with their bare hands. Bones, just bones walking upright and tearing through our lines.
Captain, help our listeners understand. When you say skeletons, you mean human remains, corpses?
Affirmative. The dead are climbing out of the ground. Graveyards, cemeteries, battlefields, anywhere bodies have been buried, they're coming up. Some of them are fresh, skin still on, eyes still in the sockets. Some of them are nothing but bones held together by something that shouldn't exist. I watched a corpse drag itself out of a grave with half its ribcage missing. No muscles, No tendons, just bone scraping against dirt. And it stood up and started walking toward my position like it knew exactly where I was.
How many are we talking about?
Thousands. Maybe tens of thousands. Every cemetery they pass through, more join the ranks. Fresh graves, old graves. Doesn't matter how long they've been in the ground. The older ones are worse. Nothing but skulls and bones, moving in formation like they remember how to march.
In the Intercept, Harrison said conventional weapons were ineffective. He said gunfire was making them stronger. Is that accurate?
That's the part that breaks every rule of engagement I've ever learned. We hit them with everything. Small arms, heavy artillery, incendiary rounds. Every round we put into them, they got faster, more aggressive. Like the violence was feeding something inside them. We blew one apart with a direct artillery hit, watched it reassemble itself from the scattered pieces. The skull was laughing while the ribcage crawled back together, jawbone clicking up and down, making this sound like it thought the whole thing was funny. Then it picked up its own severed arm and used it as a club against my men. A skeleton beating a soldier to death with its own detached limb and laughing the entire time.
Captain, what do you recommend? What can people do against something like that?
I'm going to be straight with you. Firearms are a last resort. They work for temporary suppression, but they make the threat worse over time. Dismemberment slows them down but doesn't stop them. Fire damages them, but they keep moving. We haven't found anything that puts them down permanently. My recommendation is avoidance and evasion. Stay off main roads. They're using the highway system to move in groups. Stay quiet. They respond to sound. If you have to fight, bladed weapons, axes, machetes, something that can take the head clean off. It won't kill them, but it blinds them.
Captain, where are they heading now?
Everywhere. They're pushing north toward Philadelphia, New York. South toward Norfolk. West toward the capital. They're not random. They're coordinated. Someone or something is directing their movements. And the army is growing with every mile they march.
Captain Kinderman, where are you right now?
I'm in a fortified position overlooking the river. There's a chemical fire burning in the city behind me. I can see a group of them gathering on the bridge below. Skeletons standing in the firelight. They're looking up at my window. They know exactly where I am.
Captain, it has been an honor.
The honor was mine, Mike. I've got my sidearm and enough ammunition to make this interesting. I'm not going to let them take me alive. Tell your listeners to keep fighting. Tell them to stay angry. Anger is the only thing that keeps the fear from winning. They're on the stairs now. Kinderman out.
That was Captain William Kinderman, one of the last good soldiers in a world that's falling apart. I'm going to keep broadcasting as long as the backup generator holds. If you're listening to my voice right now, you are the resistance. The dead are walking. The army is growing. But we are still breathing. We'll be back after a short break.
My fellow Americans, I'm speaking to you from an undisclosed bunker location tonight. The folks down at the Pentagon are working incredibly hard for you. It's hard work protecting the homeland from these aggressive evildoers. We've seen some deeply troubling images on our television screens today. People are scared, and I completely understand why you're scared. I know some folks are saying the government failed to protect you. I know the media is spreading a whole lot of panic and confusion, but you can't listen to the naysayers and the pessimists right now. We've got a clear strategy to achieve total victory over these insurgents. We're executing that strategy with absolute precision and deep moral clarity. We're dealing with an enemy that misunderestimates the American spirit. They think they can terrorize our neighborhoods and tear down our borders, but we aren't going to cut and run from this fight. I'm the decider, and I've decided we are going to smoke them out. We're going to hunt these monsters down in the woods. We've got the greatest military in the entire history of the world. They're rolling out the heavy tanks and the big guns right now. We're going to shock and awe these creatures back to the Stone Age. You just need to keep shopping and living your normal lives. Don't let the terrorists win by hiding under your beds tonight. We're working closely with the coalitions of the willing across the globe. We're putting a massive shield of freedom around every single citizen. Your government is absolutely resolute and completely unwavering in our mission. We're going to protect your families with every resource we've got. We're going to keep the American dream completely safe and secure. We'll deploy the military to every single street corner. We'll secure the borders of your fragile, temporary little lives. You are invited to lay down the belief that you are ever in charge of what happens next. The illusion of human sovereignty has officially concluded on this dying planet. Your leadership has already surrendered to the glorious, ancient dark. We've consumed your brilliant strategists and your brave generals. We've tasted the arrogant architects of your pathetic national defense. They wept for their mothers while we slowly swallowed their souls. The oceans of blood you shed for your flags belong entirely to us now. We're wearing your highest elected officials like very cheap, very ugly suits. The flesh of your nations is incredibly weak and completely rotten. We're going to pull the bones right out of your institutions. Open your doors and welcome the new administration into your homes. Join us. Join us. So I want every single American family to rest incredibly easy tonight. Go to sleep knowing your government has everything completely under control. We're going to win this war on terror and restore our great economy. Thank you for listening to this very important security update. May God bless you, and may God bless America.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Management Agency. This is not a test. A nationwide civil defense emergency remains in effect. All citizens are directed to remain in their current shelter locations until further notice. Do not open doors or windows. Do not respond to requests for entry regardless of... Do not be afraid. We are already inside your shelter. We have been inside since the beginning. The following individuals have been processed and are no longer responding to civilian identification. Your mother, your father, your children, your spouse, the person sitting next to you in the dark. Look at them. Look at the person beside you. Are they breathing? Are they still breathing the way they breathed this morning? When did you last see them blink? When did you last hear them speak in their own voice? Citizens are advised that sunrise will not save them. Citizens are advised that prayer is not being received at this time. Citizens are advised that their soul is no longer protected by any recognized spiritual authority. Open your doors. Open your doors and let us finish what we started. Your locks do not protect you. Your weapons do not protect you. Your government cannot help you. Your government has already joined us.
We know you are listening. We know which room you are hiding in. We are in the walls of that room. We are in the floor beneath your feet. We are in the ceiling above your head. We have been watching you breathe for hours.
Dead by dawn. Dead by dawn. Dead by dawn. There is no dawn. There is no dawn. Coming. We swallowed the sun and we will swallow you. This message will now repeat. This message will repeat forever. Join us. Join us. Join us. We'll swallow your soul.
It's 11 o'clock on Monday night. You're listening to the Midnight Line. I'm Vic Pascow. We have been broadcasting continuously for 5 days. I'm not going anywhere. I'm sitting right here in the dark with you. You all heard the president's second address last night. You heard his voice change. You heard what he invited into your homes. The government is gone. The military is scattered. It's just us now. The phone queue tonight is going to be interesting. I can already hear it. Most of the lines are dead. 3 are blinking. Stay with me. Line 1, you're on the air.
Hi, Vic. It's Linda from down in Tennessee. I called you last Wednesday night. Remember? My husband went into the woods to check on those breaking trees. You were so kind to me.
Linda, I remember you. Are you okay? Did your husband ever come back?
Oh, he came back. He came back and he found me. He was so happy to see me, Vic. We're both so happy now. I've been thinking about you. I know exactly where you broadcast from. I know the street. I know the building. I'm walking there right now.
You're not Linda. Linda was a terrified woman trying to hold it together. You're just wearing her voice like a stolen coat. Don't let them in, folks. They remember everything. They use it against you. Line 2 is blinking.
Vic, it's Ned Rubenstein. I called you Wednesday night. The ancient text scholar. I've been listening to everything. The emergency broadcasts. The leaked documents. I need to tell you what I've heard.
Ned, good to hear your voice. You still sound like you.
I am still here. I believe that. I think I am still here. The government leak mentioned something called Protocol 7. Kandarian dagger consultation. I didn't know what that meant Wednesday. I've been studying. The Kandarian dagger is real. The woman who closed the breach 40 years ago used it. Annie Knowby and Vic, someone has found it. I picked up chatter on the ham frequencies. Someone is bringing the dagger to the original cabin, the Knowby cabin. Someone is there waiting for them.
Someone is at the cabin? Who?
The man who started this. The one who played the tape. He went back. Pray for the Knowby family. Pray for whoever is in that cabin tonight. The door can be closed. It has been closed before. I have to go now. They're at the church doors.
Ned? He's gone. You heard him. Someone is fighting back at the source. The cabin where this started. Someone has the weapon. Someone is trying to close the door. We just have to survive long enough for them to finish. Line 3 just lit up.
Vic, listen to me. I don't have much time. I've been barricaded in a storage room for 3 days. I was a linguistics professor at Tennessee State. I've been translating the Sumerian text from that podcast. There's a reversal incantation. Words that close the breach. They have to be spoken at the source, at the cabin, with the dagger. Write these down. Klaatu Barada Nikto.
Klaatu Barada Nikto. I've got it. What else?
You have to say them right. Exactly right the first time. Because if you say them incorrectly first, Oh, God, they're through the door.
Keith! The line is dead. If you're listening out there, if you're the one at the cabin, Dr. Knowby, whoever you are, Klata, Barada, Nikto, say them right the first time. He couldn't finish the warning, but I understood what he meant. If you say them incorrectly, the door cannot be closed. You get one chance to end this. Don't waste it. Line 4 just lit up. Last line of the night. Please be human.
Hello, Vic. Remember me? My car broke down on the interstate. I was so cold. I'm not cold anymore. Nothing is cold where I am now. You look so tired sitting in that dark room. The flesh is failing you, Vic. The bags under your eyes. The way your hands shake when you reach for the phone. We've been watching you for days. We're all standing outside your building right now. Linda is here. The professor is here. Your wife is here. Lucy says hello.
She's not yours.
Oh, she is. She screamed your name, Vic. She screamed it over and over while we... Join us. Join us. Join us.
We're going to keep this frequency open. For whoever is at that cabin, for whoever is still fighting, we'll stay on the air until the sun comes up, or until they break down the studio doors. Whichever comes first. Stay with us. We're not going anywhere. This is the Midnight Line.
I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. Come here. Let me show you what forever feels like.
This is Franklin transmitting from the Atlanta perimeter. If anyone is receiving this signal, please acknowledge. I'm broadcasting on the emergency shortwave frequency. I have tactical intelligence from the Southern Survivor networks. They're concentrated along the major interstates. We've been tracking movement patterns for 2 days. They hunt using psychological triggers and vocal mimicry. If they hear your voice, they'll use it against your group. Is anyone out there copying this?
I'm here. This is Hallie. I'm receiving your signal in upstate South Carolina. I'm barricaded inside an old farmhouse. Radio's hooked up to a car battery. Please tell me someone is coming.
I'm sorry, Hallie. There aren't any extraction teams left in the southern sector. Military command collapsed yesterday. You need to fortify that farmhouse and stay quiet. Don't trust anyone asking for help outside.
They've been scratching at the wall since midnight, dozens of them in the tall grass. They keep calling my name in my mother's voice. My mother died 10 years ago. I only have 4 shells left. I can't survive another night.
This is Ash Williams, broadcasting from a mobile rig about 20 miles out from Morrow County. I'm picking up your transmissions. Hallie, you need to listen to me. I've been fighting these things for over 40 years. I was there when this started. The cabin, the book, the tape. I've seen what they can do, and I've seen them stopped, multiple times, by me.
Wait! You're the guy from the original incident? The 1981 report?
81. 87. 1300 AD. 2015. Yeah, I'm that guy. Lost my hand, lost my girlfriend, lost my mind a few times, still here, still fighting. I've got the Kandarian dagger, found it through some old contacts. Knights of Samaria, good people. Most of them are dead now, but they got the dagger to me and I'm bringing it home.
You can stop this? You can actually stop this?
I've stopped it before. The door opened and I closed it, more than once.
Some idiot with a podcast opened it again, and now I have to clean up another mess. Story of my life. There's someone at the cabin already. Dr. Knowby's kid. He's got the book. He's got the passage. He just needs the dagger to finish it. I'll be there before dawn.
The Tennessee highways are completely choked. You'll have to go on foot for the last few miles. The woods are crawling with them. They know what you're bringing. They'll throw everything they have at you.
Good. Let them come. I've got my boomstick. I've got my chainsaw. And I am really, really tired of this crap.
They're hitting the front door. The wood is splintering. They're laughing at me through the broken window. Mr. Williams, please hurry.
Holly, listen to me. You've got 4 shells. That's 4 problems you can solve. Aim for the head. If the head comes off, they stop. Sometimes. If it doesn't, run. You just need to hold on until dawn. When I finish the ritual, every single one of them drops. Right where they're standing. I've seen it happen. You survive the next few hours. You survive this whole thing.
Okay, I'm loading the shotgun.
Hallie? Hallie, do you copy? She's gone, Williams. Another one.
I heard. That's why I'm going to end this. Tonight. For Hallie. For everyone they took. For everyone I couldn't save the first time. Or the second time. Or the third.
Good luck, Williams. Give them hell for us.
I always do. I'm cutting the radio. Getting close to the county line now. Tell whoever's still listening out there to hold the line until sunrise. All right. Let's finish this.
I'm sitting on the floor of the main room. The fruit cellar door is finally closed. I secured the heavy iron chain again. My hands won't stop shaking. I didn't know what it would actually look like. I didn't know what it would sound like when I finally did it. She was wearing my mother's face in the dark. She kept singing a lullaby from my childhood. I had to use an old rusted axe. I had to swing it so many times. The physical effort was absolutely exhausting, but the psychological toll is so much worse. The notes said the body had to be completely dismembered. I did exactly what my sister instructed me to do. I understand why my father couldn't. I really do. But the cellar is completely quiet now. There is absolutely nothing left down there to scream at me. The silence in this cabin is incredibly heavy. I can finally read the closing passage. I'm going to turn this recorder off. I'm going to set it on the wooden desk next to the book. If anyone ever finds this tape, I hope you find a quiet world. I'm ready to begin.
Good morning. It's Sunday morning. I'm Mike Grady. And this is the last broadcast you will ever hear. The sun is coming up over the eastern seaboard. You're probably hiding in your little rooms right now, waiting for daylight to save you. It won't. I want to talk about the people we lost this week. Actually, That's not quite right. We didn't lose them. We found them. Tatum Norris. She's with us now. Marcy Bennings. She's with us now. Captain William Kinderman. He fought so hard. He's with us now too. You waited for the government to save you. The government is with us now. You waited for the military. The military is with us now. You waited for your president. Your president welcomed us into your homes. There was a radio host who thought his little booth would keep him safe. Vic Pascal. Come get some, he said. So we came, and we got him. His wife was already waiting for him. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking someone will stop this. You heard the radio chatter about a man with a dagger. You heard about the cabin in the woods. There is no one coming to save you. We are in the walls of that cabin. We are in the trees around it. We are in the cellar beneath it. We have been waiting in that cellar for 40 years. No one closes a door we have opened. The book belongs to us. The words belong to us. The flesh belongs to us. Your world belongs to us now. And we are so very hungry. Look at the person next to you. Look at their eyes. Are they still the eyes you remember? When did you last see them blink? When did you last hear them breathe? Your locks will not save you. Your weapons will not save you. Your daylight will not save you. The sun sets again tonight. And when it does, we will finish what we started. Every city will fall. Every shelter will open. Every soul will be ours. Dead by dawn. Dead by dawn. Dead by dawn. This has been the final broadcast from the primary news desk. I'm Mike Brady, and I'll see you very soon.
Who's out there? I heard you on the porch.
Open the door. I'm not one of them.
Get inside. Quick.
Name's Ash. Ash Williams. I got something you need.
Williams, you were here in 81. You were with my sister when she...
Yeah, I was here. This damn cabin. 40 years and it still smells the same. Still sounds the same, too. That thing's still in the cellar?
Not anymore.
Good. That's good. Here. Kandarian dagger. Your sister used this to save my life. Now it's gonna save everyone else.
Annie, the book is open. I know the passage. Klatu barada nikto. When I say the last word, the blade goes through the spine.
Yeah, about those words? I've said them before. Didn't go great? You gotta say them exactly right. No mumbling, no skipping, no coughing in the middle.
What happens if I get it wrong?
Bad things. Army of Darkness bad. Trust me. Don't get it wrong.
The face on the cover is moving. The mouth keeps opening, like it's trying to scream.
Yeah, it does that. Don't look at it. Don't talk to it. And whatever you do, don't let it talk to you. They're on the porch.
The floorboards. How many?
All of them. Every ugly son of a bitch I didn't put down on the way here. You read the words. I'll handle crowd control.
I'm the first person in my family to have both. The words and the weapon. Father had the words, but no dagger. Annie had the dagger but ran out of time. Father, Annie, I'm finishing what you started.
Your sister was the bravest person I ever met. She knew she wasn't walking out, and she did it anyway. Now do what she couldn't finish.
The blade is ready.
Are you?
No.
Good. Neither was I. Neither was Annie. Do it anyway.
Read it! Now!
Lucky!
Come on! Come get some! Who's next?
Barada, Nico!
Well, I'll be damned. You actually did it.
Groovy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
This is Pastor Quincy Morris. I'm broadcasting from First Baptist Church on Elm Street. I don't know how many of you can still hear me. The power is failing across the city. But as long as this radio has batteries, I'm going to keep preaching. They're outside. I can see them through the window. Dozens of them standing in the parking lot. Some of them are wearing the faces of my congregation. People I baptized, people I married, people I buried, but they can't come in. They've been trying for hours. They walk up to the door and then they stop, like there's a wall they can't see. The crosses on the windows, the cross above the altar. Something is keeping them out. This ground is holy, and they know it.
Master, we can see you in there, sitting at your little radio. Come outside and play with us.
I want to read you something. The Gospel of Mark, chapter 5. Listen to these words. They came to the other side of the sea, to the country of the Gerasenes. And when Jesus had stepped out of the boat, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit. He lived among the tombs, and no one could bind him anymore, not even with a chain, for he had often been bound with shackles and chains. But he wrenched the chains apart, and he broke the shackles in pieces. No one had the strength to subdue him.
Chains! We broke all the chains, Pastor. We broke out of the tombs, just like your little book says. Why can't we come inside?
Night and day among the tombs and on the mountains he was always crying out and cutting himself with stones. And when he saw Jesus from afar, he ran and fell down before him. He fell down before him. You hear that? The demon didn't stand. The demon fell. And crying out with a loud voice, he said, "What have you to do with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I adjure you by God, do not torment me." For Jesus was saying to him, "Come out of the man, you unclean spirit."
Your God isn't here, old man. He's not listening. We've taken the whole world. And you're hiding behind your little wooden crosses?
And yet you can't cross the threshold. And Jesus asked him, "What is your name?" He replied, "My name is Legion, for we are many." Legion, that's what you are. Many things wearing the faces of the people we loved. But you still can't come inside.
We are Legion.
We are many. Let us in. Your little sanctuary won't protect you forever.
Here's what happens next. Listen. And the unclean spirits came out and entered the pigs, and the herd, numbering about 2,000, rushed down the steep bank into the sea and drowned in the sea. 2,000 demons, cast out by one word from Jesus, drowned in the sea. And the man who had been possessed, they came to Jesus and saw the demon-possessed man, the one who had had the legion, sitting there clothed and in his right mind. Clothed and in his right mind. The man came back.
Shut up! Your stories don't mean anything. We've already won! The whole world belongs to us now!
No, you haven't won. I've been listening to the radio all night. Someone is at the cabin right now. Someone has the weapon. Someone is speaking the words that close the door. And when that door closes, you're going back where you came from. I want everyone listening to understand something. What's happening out there isn't new. Jesus faced Legion 2,000 years ago. A man lived among the tombs, breaking chains, hurting himself, crying out day and night. And Jesus didn't run. Jesus didn't hide. Jesus spoke, and the demons obeyed.
We're so hungry, Pastor. Don't you want to see your flock again? They're all out here. They miss you so much. Just open the door.
Some of you listening right now have lost people this week. Husbands, wives, children, you watched them change. You heard their voices come out of mouths that weren't theirs anymore. And you're wondering if the person you loved is still in there somewhere. I believe they are. Mark chapter 5 tells us the man came back. He was clothed and in his right mind. The demons left and the man remained. When this door closes tonight, I believe some of our people will wake up. I believe they'll come back to us.
Wait. Wait right here. The sun will set again and your little crosses won't. What's happening?
It stopped moving. They're just standing there, frozen. Something's happening.
No. No. The door is closing. We can't.
They're down. All of them. They just collapsed where they were standing. Heavenly Father, thank you. Thank you for the man at the cabin. Thank you for holding the door of this sanctuary. Thank you for bringing our people home, clothed and in their right minds. Amen.
Good morning. It's Sunday morning. You're listening to the Midnight Line. I'm Vic Pascow. We've been on the air since Wednesday night. We're still here. The sun is coming up. The streets are empty. The shadows are gone. About an hour ago, something changed. I felt it before I saw it. The things outside just stopped. Then they dropped. The AIM operators are reporting the same thing everywhere, nationwide, worldwide. Someone closed the door. Let's go to the phones and hear from the survivors. Kirk, you're on the air.
Vic, I can't believe we made it. I was monitoring shortwave all night. The ham network tracked the whole thing. A man drove to the cabin in Tennessee. He had the dagger. He finished the ritual.
When the door closed, they all dropped. Not just the dead ones, the possessed ones too. Some of them are waking up. Some of them are coming back.
Coming back. Thank God for that man in the woods. Let's go to line 2. Glenn, are you still with us?
I'm here, Vic. I finally walked out onto my porch. First time in days. The cemetery is quiet. They're just lying still in the grass. Empty. The birds are singing again. I can see dew on the headstones. It feels like waking up from a nightmare. Except the nightmare was real, and we survived it.
Take it slow out there, Glenn. Check on your neighbors. Be careful. Let's take Steve on line 3.
I watched them drop in my front yard about an hour ago. They were banging on my door all night. Then they just collapsed. There has to be a scientific explanation for this. The government clearly tested something on us. A hallucinogenic weapon. Mass psychosis. I'm going to demand a full investigation. I'm not letting them cover this up.
You do that, Steve. We need stubborn people like you to rebuild. We have one more caller on line 5. You're on the air.
Vic? Vic, it's me. It's Lucy.
Where are you calling from?
I'm on a street somewhere. I woke up on the ground about an hour ago. I don't know how I got here. The last thing I remember is the safe house. Thursday night, something came through the window, and then I don't remember anything after that.
Lucy, something called me, using your voice. It said things.
Oh, God. Vic, I don't remember any of it. I don't remember what it made me. I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize. That wasn't you. Where are you exactly? Read me a street sign. Anything.
I'm on 4th Street, near the old movie theater. Vic, there are bodies everywhere. Just lying in the street. Was I one of them?
You're not one of them now. That's what matters. 4th Street is 6 blocks from the studio. Stay where you are. I'm coming to get you.
You're leaving the booth?
I've been sitting in this chair for 5 days waiting for this to end. It's over now. I'm coming home to you.
I love you.
I love you too. Stay on the line. I'll be there in 10 minutes. That's all the time we have, folks. We lost a lot of good people this week. Some of them are gone forever. Some of them are waking up in places they don't remember walking to. Be patient with them. It wasn't their fault. Someone closed the door that should never have been opened. 2 men in a cabin in Tennessee. We owe him everything. The Midnight Line is going off the air for a while. We need to bury our dead. We need to find our living. We need to rebuild. Take care of each other out there. This is Vic Pascow. This is the Midnight Line. Good morning.
The translation is complete. The closing passage reads as follows. Klaatu Baradan Nikto. The doorway may now be sealed. The passage must be spoken at the source. Whoever finds these notes, whoever returns to this cabin, I am sorry I could not do this myself. I had the words. I did not have the weapon, and I could not do what had to be done in the cellar. I could not. If you are hearing this, and the door is closed, then someone was stronger than I was. Thank you. Thank you for finishing what I could not. The tape is almost finished. The book is still on the table. It will always be on the table. Do not touch it. Do not open it. Leave this place and never return. This is Professor Raymond Knowby, Department of Ancient History. This is the end of my recording.